Installing the drive system. 1. Mount the motors on the frame. Place each motor over the holes you drilled for them and then use screws or bolts to secure them in place. Then slide the propellers over the posts extending from the top of the motors and screw the caps that came with the motors over the top of the posts. 3. The drone frame now has landing gear and motors, but the center portion of the frame should still be empty. Tighten the bolts or screws securely so the motors can't wiggle at all on the frame. Any slack will create vibrations that can make the drone unstable. 2. Use zip ties to secure the speed controllers to the bottom of the frame. The electronic speed controllers that connect to the motors should be mounted on the underside of the drone frame to prevent it from getting too top-heavy when you add the rest of the components. Zip ties are an easy way to attach them. Run the zip ties through the mounting loops on the speed controllers, or just across them, and over the frame. Then pull the zip ties tight so the controllers are firmly held in place. 4. Don't use glue the first time you assemble your drone, as you may find you want to adjust the positioning of different components based on how it flies. The speed controllers regulate how fast the motors on the drone spin. This ensures all 4 motors spin at the same speed so the drone will be level as it flies. 3. Secure the battery to the frame. Consider the size and shape of your battery when looking for the right place to mount it. If it's flat, you can mount it in the center of the drone and then mount other components on top of it. If not, you may want to mount the battery on the underside of the drone along with the speed controllers. 5. In most applications, mounting the battery in the center of the top of the frame is the best place. Use zip ties to hold the battery in place so you can remove it and move it if you need to adjust the weight distribution of the drone later. 4. Install the power distribution board. Center the power distribution board on the drone frame, on top of the battery if you placed it there as well. Connect the lines from the speed controllers and the battery to the board once you've zip tied it down. 6. The power distribution board relays the right amount of power to each component to keep the drone operating smoothly. 5. Attach the flight controller to the drone frame with zip ties and connect it. The flight controller relays information from the remote control to the power distribution board. Position it on top of the power distribution board and then zip tie it down. Refer to the instructions for the flight controller and power distribution box to connect them properly, but in most applications, the connection will be one clearly marked wire that plugs directly from one into the other.